Hi, this is Melanie McFarlane, IMDb's TV editor. As you know, movie and TV fans have a lot of superheroes to choose from these days, but only one has that winning combination of brains, brawn, optimism, and speed. Don't be surprised if you find yourself quickly falling for Barry Allen and his heroic alter ego in our favorite new CW series, The Flash. As The Flash begins, we meet Barry, played by Grant Gustin. He's a curious Central City crime scene investigator who endured a life-changing tragedy when he was just 11 years old. That moment inspired him to study and pursue strange phenomena as a hobby, including the development of a particle accelerator created by Star Labs. But when something goes wrong during the accelerator's unveiling, Barry is struck by lightning and falls into a coma. When he wakes up 9 months later, Barry soon finds out he's the fastest man alive.
My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive. A friend recently gave me the idea for a new name. And something tells me it's gonna catch on.
We caught up with series stars Grant Gustin and Jesse L. Martin at the 2014 Television Critics Association Summer Press Tour in Los Angeles. So tell us a little bit about The Flash.
It's Barry Allen. He's a police scientist now, but rewind, when he was 11 years old, his mom was murdered, and it was this like freak supernatural event. His dad was wrongly convicted for murder. Barry's the only one that knows it wasn't him, but nobody believes him because what happened was completely unbelievable. So fast forward, he's a police scientist and working with Joe West, who's been his surrogate father, and Iris West, who has kind of been his only true friend, and it's the only, Joe and Iris are really the only two that know about the details of kind of the dark past and what happened with his family. And this freak accident happens when the night of the particle accelerator explosion, and struck by lightning, dust, and chemicals, and now I'm fastest man alive.
That must be exciting for you as an actor to come in as this beloved character.
Yeah, it is. Initially, I did feel the pressure, kind of, because I wasn't typecast into this role, I don't think. So I was kind of like, why am I getting, how did I get this, kind of, initially? But I've always been a superhero fan, I've always loved this genre. So I've been excited from the beginning, but now that we're starting and I'm getting the scripts, I mean, it's just kind of one day at a time, and I'm just having the time of my life. Most fun I've ever had.
Sorry.
You can't keep ducking work so you can go off chasing down these urban legends, Barry. Everyone you work with thinks you're a weirdo.
So did you read the Flash comics, or did you?
I did not read the Flash comics growing up. I was not a comic book kid. I was definitely more of a sci-fi novel, fantasy novel kind of guy, and I still don't know that much, you know. And I told our executive producers and creators, Jeff Johns, Andrew Kreisberg, Greg Berlanti, that I didn't want to know that much about the mythology, the legend, the whole nine, because Joe West doesn't know any of that stuff. He learns it through Barry Allen. And if I already know all that stuff, it just might cloud my whole interpretation of the thing. And I think Joe West is a lot like the audience. Like, he sees these things happen as you see them happen, and he reacts probably the same way you're going to react. Like, what? What is that?
So for people who don't know who Joe West is, can you just...
Sure. Joe West is a detective who works in the Central City Police Department. He's also the father, adopted father of Barry Allen. Something very tragic happened to Barry Allen's mom when he was a kid, and his father was accused of the murder of his mom, and there was no one to take care of him. So Joe West took in the boy and raised him along with his daughter. So yeah, Joe West is a detective and a father on our show.
So in the pilot, there are many hints about there being other metahumans out there that are either caused by the accelerator. Of course, then you also went and visited Starling City.
Yep.
Do you have an indication as to like what's to come for the kinds of metahumans that you're going to be facing?
I know we're going to have some pretty cool villains, and they're all kind of, they're coming. They all got their powers the same night I got them. And they were doing, like, I was in my lab and I was doused in chemicals and struck by lightning, which created my super speed. And these villains were doing, well, kind of whatever they were doing the night of the accelerator explosion that developed their powers. And it's cool how they're kind of in their own way, creating origin stories that have never existed for a lot of these bad guys, but using it to create these colorful bad guys that have always existed in the Flash comics.
What if humans have been busy? But I need your help to catch Martin and anyone else out there like him. But I can't do it without you.
I have something that might help. It's made of a reinforced tripolymer. It's heat and abrasive resistant.
Talk a little about Star Labs. There seem to be a lot of toys on deck.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that set looks so expensive. The Star Labs set is unbelievable. And when we're in that room, it's Tom, Danielle, me, and Carlos, and everybody has just like science jargon. The Star Labs scenes are really cool, and we're actually, in some upcoming episodes, they're building new sets now for different parts of Star Labs that we haven't seen yet.
There seems to be this tendency to veer towards darkness
Yeah.
in a lot of the movies as well.
Sure.
That the Flash is different. There's an optimism to it. There's a freshness. Barry is awkward, but he's also very polite and in awe of science and also about what he can do.
You know what? The best part about it is that Barry represents, and especially the way Grant embodies Barry, he represents a lot of the kids who would be fans of Barry, of the Flash. You know, the idea that this is just a regular kid, you know, who happens to have a job, but he's a regular kid, you know, who suddenly becomes not so regular anymore, sort of super all of a sudden. And how do you go from being regular to super? And Grant flies back and forth the whole time, and I think that's brilliant. I think he's really, really good at flying back and forth. Even as the Flash in the outfit, the whole nine, he can still be sort of vulnerable, he can still be sort of weird and nerdy and off, and I think that's phenomenal.
You're at Star Labs.
I need you to urinate in this.
What is happening? What is going on?
You were struck by lightning, dude.
Lightning gave me abs.
After Arrow came out, there was a lot of talk of Steven. People were like, what is his workout?
Yeah.
What's his diet?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Is there anything that you have to do specifically?
Yeah, well, mine's going to be, I think, a less interesting topic for conversation because it's not, I don't have
But
to
they show you got abs.
Yes, yeah. I don't have to put myself through what Steven has to put himself through. I've always been a very lean guy. I've always been pretty active. I have a dance background, which I think makes it a little easier for me to jump into this and kind of brings a fluidity to the character that's not necessarily like an athlete, but it's athletic in its own kind of way. But now I'm training and I'm running a lot more than I've ever ran because I don't usually enjoy running that much, to be honest. So I'm conditioning myself for that so I don't like blow a knee or something on a day that I'm running on a treadmill in front of a green screen. And yeah, I'm bulking up a little, but they, for the most part, want me to be lean, and they don't want or need another Stephen Amell on the network, and I couldn't provide that for them even if they did need that from me, so.
So many superhero tales have a dark, anguished tone to them, which is why it's a welcome switch to see The Flash come to television. Gustin's take on the hero is true to the DC canon, and he portrays the Flash with a combination of awkward sweetness, intelligence, and lightheartedness that is absolutely infectious. Spend an hour with the Flash, and your pulse may race a little faster, but more than that, it leaves you feeling uplifted, excited, and ready to see the next episode immediately, if not sooner. So set your DVRs to record The Flash, because this fall, it's definitely what to watch. The Flash premieres Tuesday evening, October 7th on the CW. Check IMDb's TV Grid for your local TV listings. To see photos and the latest news about this title, visit the Flash title page on imdb.com or on any of our mobile apps.